Frank Capra once said, if you have control over your film, every film you make is a chapter in your own autobiography. Too many minds in one film and you get a committee. And it's pretty hard to make art with a committee. By the mid-30s, the business was back. Movies were America's most profitable form of entertainment. But directors, whose creative fire had ignited the industry to newfound riches, still had no true power. Theirs was a guild in name only.
The producers haven't recognized us, but for Christ's sake, let's not get into a position where the workers of the industry don't recognize us.
Studio heads had no intention of ceding power. Movies were big business, and directors, they were just employees with an attitude. In the end, the fight, and make no mistake, this was a fight, came down to a bout between two distinct personalities, a contest of wills over directing, its place in movie making, and the business of how movies were made. In 1937, one of the star directors who had not thrown his support behind the Guild was Frank Capra. His popular films captured an American idealism, its sense of common decency, its belief in the little guy. He was a Republican and president of the Motion Picture Academy, the producers' organization that was by no means pro-union. Vidor, Ford, Hawks, and others knew that to get the studios to sit up and listen, the Guild needed Capra in its camp.
So I finally go down to their offices, and they hopped on me. Vidor says to me, Frank, what the hell are you breaking your ass about the Academy for? Why don't you want to do anything for the directors?
Capra recognized the Guild was in for the fight of its life to define its place and authority in the business. And what about the lower-tier directors, he asked himself, and the assistant directors who relied on the Guild for better wages and working conditions?
I concluded, what the hell? My heart's more there with the DGA than it is any other place.
In less than a year, he was elected Guild president. Joseph Skank, the Russian immigrant partner of Darryl Zanuck at 20th Century Fox, brought an iron-willed, anti-union toughness to the table. A renowned poker player, he was just the kind of man that the studios knew would hold the line and keep the Guild without a contract.
It was obvious to us that Skank was playing a game of meet and stall until the directors got sick of the Guild idea.
After failing to show up for meetings with Hawks, Ford, and Vidor, Skank called Capra to apologize. He asked him to come along to the studio the next day at 3. So Capra wrapped early to make the appointment, but when he got there, he was told Skank had left for Santa Anita to bet the horses. Capra saw Skank's bluff, and he raised him.
When I got to his box, he put on a big grin and said, well, look who's here. Come in, Frank. I've got tips to give you on the next race. Let's quit fooling around. I just came to give you a tip. The next time you ask me for an appointment, I'll be there, and so will you, with your hat in your hand.
Capra immediately called a meeting of the Guild.
I warned them that Skank would only yield to power. I said we must move quickly, gamely, and lethally, or forget the Guild.
Then he put it all on the table.
The awards are 2 weeks away. I'm the president of the Academy. If you guys will back me up, I'll resign from the Academy and I'll cancel the awards. And all the publicity the studios get from Oscar night, it'll vanish.
Within days, Capra found himself in front of the executive committee of the Producers Association and Joe Skank.
A dozen of Hollywood's high and mighties and their attorneys greeted me with harsh stares and harsher questions.
You've got some nerve, Capra.
Who do you think you are, sending us ultimatums? This isn't your business, it's ours.
Gentlemen, I'm a servant carrying out an order from Hollywood's film directors. Come back with a signed contract with the Producers Association by 8 o'clock tonight, or boycott the Academy and call a strike. I'm here for an answer, not for more stalling.
Skank looked around the room at the long faces and slouched shoulders. We are not stalling, Mr. Capra, just procrastinating. Wait outside, please, and maybe we can procrastinate something out of this. Oscar night went on as planned. The studios agreed to the Guild's demands that directors and ADs, their right-hand men, had rights, that they had a say, had to be paid fairly, and had a guaranteed stake in the preparation and completion of their work. The opposing sides of Hollywood's movie-making family had reached a crucial accord and a crucial understanding. The directors had their guild, their unity, and their victory. So did the movies.